Hi everyone. Yesterday, students learned how to compare whole numbers and write decimals, which is the perfect segue into today's lesson, which is on comparing decimals. I think the best or the biggest bang for our buck is for us to start here with students. Let them take 1 minute to jot down whether they agree with Ryan when he says that comparing decimals is just like comparing whole numbers. Do they agree or disagree with Ryan, and explain why? Give them 1 minute to write and then launch them into a turn and talk to see who agrees and who disagrees. Students should see that there is a correlation between comparing whole numbers and comparing decimals, because both of them compare digits within a number from left to right using place value. They did that yesterday. With decimals, the only thing that's different is that they will have to compare other place values beyond the ones place, or smaller than the ones place. So the tenths, the hundreds, and the thousands, okay? For example, just like yesterday, I went over the first question. I'm going to go over the first question here. So we have 63 and 52 hundredths. Something that you also want to do with students is, hey, yesterday we learned to write decimals. Who can say this first number? And who can say this second number? Test them on the skills that they learned from the previous day. So anyway, 63 and 52 hundredths is being compared with 63 and 81 hundredths. First thing that we want to do, comparing from left to right, is start in the tens place. They both have the same place value. It does not help us compare. So we move to the right in the ones place. Both have the same digit in the same place value. Doesn't help us compare. We are then going to move to the tenths place. And in the tenths place, we see 8 tenths and 5 tenths. We know that 8 tenths is greater than 5 tenths. In other words, we know that 5 tenths is less than 8 tenths, meaning that 63 and 52 hundredths is less than 63 and 81 hundredths. Okay? So then you are going to release students to do the same thing. Well, you are going to model this question right here. Again, looking for that language of why and how they know that a number is greater than, less than, or equal to another number using place value. That is what you want to push with students. So you are going to model letter A, and then you are going to push them or launch them. You might even want to do this discussion with them actually to see if they can pick up on some error analysis, right? And then launch them into 15 minutes of independent or group work as you circulate to support. Notice that yesterday's lesson did not mandate them or did not require them to use the place value chart. However, there was one provided at the end of the internalization document. This lesson asks them to actually and physically put each of the values into the place value chart so it can help them compare. But yes, you'll release them to work 15 minutes independently or with a partner. After they use the place value chart, they jump into weaning themselves off of the place value chart. Can they just compare? Something that I would do if students are struggling is have them literally go digit by digit. So, okay, these are in the tens place, they're the same value, cross them out. What about in the ones place? Cross them out, they're the same. Okay, well, the first change I see is in the tens place. 2 is greater than 1, so I'm going to put the greater than sign, right? You can have them cross it out, cross out the digits to see the comparison if that's helpful for them. And then they move into word problems. So the most rigorous piece, so they move from conceptual to procedural to application, all within this one lesson. And then you can end the day with this discussion question.